This is where we need the Madonna home music. Keep it together. Keep it together forever.
One child grows up to be.
All right, you guys.
I always wonder if Stephen Bray went back and listened to that. Remember we told him about that, Tony? And he was like, "Oh, I don't know if I've seen that." And we're like, "Well, you need to go watch that." So I'm always wondering if Stephen Bray went back to Truth or Dare to check that out.
You haven't seen it?
I don't know if he hadn't seen it but he was like marveling at the fact that he's like, oh, because he had mentioned how Madonna and him loved Sly and the Family Stone. And we were like, oh, so you must love that. The mashup she did for Blonde Ambition. Did she now? And he was like,
yeah. I mean, like, I think what happened with him and with a lot of people is like, once they're fired, they kind of just put blinders on, you know, they're like, I'm doing something else, you know, I'm doing my eyebrows.
Well,
you know?
I mean, in a way, it's almost to protect your peace. You know what I mean? Like that has to have been, and we can talk about that a little bit later, but
sure.
Just thinking about in the recent events, and I've got some things to say about that, but I got something to say about it.
And it goes a little something like this.
Yeah, I think the people that are up in arms need to calm down. It's a business decision that has nothing to do with them at all. Yeah, exactly.
Not these two.
I mean, her name is Madonna, not Madonna I Take Requests. You know?
That's right.
Are we live? Are we ready?
We are live.
Hello, darlings.
Madonna forever. Madonna forever. Madonna forever. Madonna forever.
You're listening to MLVC, the Madonna podcast, your place for all things Madonna. Louise Veronica Ciccone. Hi, it's Liberty.
Hello, suckers. It's Tony. How are you?
Well, we're back at it again. It's Ben.
And hey, everybody, it's Stefan, your unofficial Celebration Tour correspondent. We're getting together because we wanted to. That's at the end of the day, it's
we're here to talk about us
and all that we've been through. We wanted to talk about me and you. I remember when we first met. You didn't know.
Yeah, the sound was terrible.
I didn't know who I was. We grew up together.
We had one microphone.
Oh my God, I know. People I always see people like podcasting and they have like these elaborate setups. I'm like, I remember our humble beginning. We had one microphone on a table between us.
And a dream.
Yeah.
And here we are on YouTube, live.
The dream is the most important thing.
Yes.
There you go.
If you dream it, you can make it happen.
That's right.
How's everybody? Well, Liberty, I was going to say it's lonely here now in Philadelphia without my buddy Liberty.
Bosom buddies.
I got used to having her here, and then she was just like that, and just like that, she was gone. Like she was here. We had a fantastic time in Philadelphia. It was a whirlwind trip. Like she arrived. Work has been honestly. Madonna's tour arriving when work is busy is not a good thing. And I'm like, everything needs to calm down because Madonna's on tour right now. But
it is really hard because you in your heart want to just put everything on hold and do every possible Madonna related or affiliated thing that you can, whether it's, making it to a show or going to a party or whatever, just chatting with your friends about it. But if you're working and you've got to make that money to be able to see a show,
right.
It's really hard. And I know you have a really busy season and I got a little taste of what Stefan's day-to-day is like, but
I felt so bad. Liberty arrived at my house and she was exhausted because she had gotten up at like 3 a.m. So she had no sleep. And so she went up to my little guest room to take a nap. And I'm like zooming on work calls and like shouting and not screaming. I don't scream at work, but like
that's okay.
Liberty comes down. She's like, what's happening? What's going on? She didn't even know where she was. Like,
no, he had to mute his Zooms because I was up there.
She comes down in her nightgown, in her negligee. You can see my staircase staircase in the background, and people are like, I'm like covering up my thing. I'm like, sorry, that's the cleaning lady.
Yeah.
You could have just told them she was your wife, you know?
Oh,
I mean, well,
they ain't gonna buy that one, Tony.
Couldn't believe that one. You could have just told
Oh,
them.
that's the old ball and chain coming down. I don't let her out during the work hours.
Go back in your cage. You could have told me something cool like that. But that was actually kind of cool because, I mean, obviously having podcasted, all of us to see the day to day is just such a different experience. But I loved getting to meet Stefan, obviously, and taking a chance to stroll around Philly. And he showed me some amazing stuff, which I posted about. And I was just I had such a good time. It was really refreshing because when I came back to work on Monday, I was not raring to go, but, thankful for a fun little outing away from the hustle and the bustle sort of thing. So,
well, I was just happy so from my vantage point, because I was up by the front of the stage and Liberty was along the runway near the bedtime story stage. And when I would turn around to see Madonna, I could see Liberty's head. She was just tall enough to be able to peep over the stage. So like her face was like right up, like I could see from her nose up, and because she had her little beret on. And I was so happy because Liberty, there were moments where you were having so much joy watching Madonna, like singing and smiling. And I was like, oh, I'm so glad she finally got to see the show.
She finally made her way.
Yeah. I mean, I try to really be in the moment just because Madonna deserves it. And I always think that even though I wanted to take so many more pictures and I would take half videos and put my phone away, I just thought if I'm not looking at her and there's the possibility that I'm not, that there's nothing between us, then the intimacy is still there of a show. Whether she can see me or not, I'm not really sure, but it doesn't matter because if it's a connection only in my head, it's still a connection, right?
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, and it was a good show. We had a good time.
It was a really good show.
Thank you to all the listeners who stopped us and took pictures with us. Liberty got a little taste of fame. It was then we'd be walking around Philadelphia and she'd be like, just no autographs, please. I'm like, Liberty, they're not stopping us. What are you talking about?
Truly, though. I mean, of course, your suit is a showstopper. So there were lots of folks that didn't know who we were or what we were there, like what we do. And they're just like, "Ooh, I love your suit. Ooh, can I take a photo of your suit?" And I think that it just goes to show. I mean, the more extravagant you can get with your outfit, and of course, even the fan made T-shirts, those are so fun. I know a lot of people put thought into those, and I just like how creative people can be.
Liberty was crushed, though, because she desperately wanted to get the Who's That Girl bomber, which made its first appearance at the Philly merch shop. And we stupidly waited until after the show because we're like, we don't want to hold on to the merch. Yeah. It was gone. It was sold out at every merch stand. I was like, how is this possible? It's crazy.
Yeah. But,
I watched the review video and I didn't realize you guys weren't sitting together.
Yeah, we weren't.
Oh, wow.
I bought my ticket last minute, which of course,
that's true. Yeah.
Who went to this recent New York show, that was an impossibility. That was not an option. Most people could not get anything from Ticketmaster last minute. Resellers, yes, but Philly, there were lots of really good availability.
At the last minute too. It was crazy. So check your ticket vendors.
You never know. You just never know.
I know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So we weren't sitting together, but it's kind of nice because I could say, oh, what I saw from here. And then he's like, he could say he could see something different or similar, something. We shared experiences that way. So it was good.
It was fun. Tony, how's everything in your world? How's New York?
It's a lot of work, but last week I got the surprise of my life on Tuesday, the 23rd, about 8:00. My best friend's like, I couldn't sell these floor seats. You have to go with me.
Oh, so you got to go to the show.
Yeah. Remember I texted you?
Oh, that's right.
And so we're walking, and then I'm like, wait a minute, we're here? We were to the left of the stage, towards the end of the catwalk, right on the floor.
Nice.
It was really great. I could see her facial expressions. It was a really good show. I think I pulled out my phone like maybe 4 times, and I sent those photos to Stefan. But I really paid attention, and it was amazing. It was like seeing a whole another production, you know.
Yeah.
You know, she did Express Yourself. She did Causing a Commotion, you know, kind of like a cappella, whatever. But it was really cool. She was in a great mood. I feel like she sounded a lot better than she did in Brooklyn. The sound, the way that the sound is configured at Barclays is very different from Madison Square Garden. So I see where she kind of just like lets herself go when she doesn't have to worry about what the sound is going on, what the sound is like in her mic. You could totally see her just being just, I don't know, she was just in a really good mood, and it was a really fun night. And I was so excited that I got the chance. I mean, that's like everyone's dream come true. It's like, oh, you get a call at 8 o'clock, say, go to the venue, I'll meet you there. You know?
Yeah, that's cool.
Wow.
And it happened to me, guys.
Mhm.
It was
And
really
it's
fun.
a great seat too.
Yeah, it was really great, and no one recognized me, which was fun. So
Aw.
Oh,
it was
you were
quick
incognito.
in and out. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay, but seeing it from a different vantage point, because I've asked Stefan about this like offline before. Did seeing it from that different vantage point change what was your favorite number or your favorite part of the show?
Oh yeah. Like I used to hate Hung Up, and now I love Hung Up in the show. Well, I mean, I used to hate Hung Up in general. Now I love Hung Up, and I love Hung Up in the show. There's so much energy in that number. Of course, Ray of Light, being so close to the orb above me, it was really cool. Also, Live to Tell hit really hard because the screens are actually dropping right in front of you, and it kind of took me aback. And any of the set pieces where all the dancers were on the catwalk were great, because you could just really just kind of zone out and watch them and see how much fun they're having, and they really love playing up to the audience. And that's something you couldn't really tell from where I was sitting last time.
Yeah.
Wow. Interesting. That is food for thought for our listeners.
And I also realized that I can do without the Michael Jackson tribute. I you know, like I was laughing with my friend. I was like, you know, I really paid attention to these photos this time of her and Michael Jackson. Those were all taken on the same day. But you know, how many times did they really meet, and how much of his legacy informs her work? You know, I mean, their relationship was basically a missed opportunity. She was supposed to do In the Closet on Dangerous, and their agents couldn't come up with a solution or, you know, a happy medium. So that was it. That was done. Yeah. So I don't know. It kind of feels off now, you know, seeing it a second time, but that's my opinion, you know.
Oh, well, here's your inside scoop on the Michael Jackson tribute, by the way, because I was so up close. That is actually not so the dancers that walk behind the screen, that's not their shadows. That's a pre-recorded video. I thought they were they were being backlit and doing that every time. No, they don't. They go behind the screen and then you see them walk away. It's just a video.
But to Tony's point about, so I deep dived into the dark hole that can be the internet sometimes after I saw the show. There actually are a lot more pictures of them together, particularly early years, like right after she poached Freddie from Michael, that they didn't use in that montage. Because you're right, they showed a lot of pictures from the time they went out to dinner when they were when he was recording Dangerous, and she had like the stringy blonde hair, and then the Oscar ones. And I'm like, hold up. Like they were together a lot more earlier, like between first album, Like a Virgin, and True Blue. Like they were actually around each other a lot more. Right. Because the pictures have surfaced over the years, but they weren't really like in the tabloids back in the day because there wasn't anything scandalous about it.
Right. But I mean, aside from her sampling, you know, or performing that part of Billie Jean during Virgin Tour, they never collaborated. Not like she and Prince did, you know.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah, I mean, Well, I was just going to say I'm still processing some of the ideas of what is the reasoning behind certain things at certain times in the show, because I really feel like there's got to be a bigger message, which is why I have to see it again. So,
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Ben.
when I see it again in February, I'll let you know what else I come up with. You know, it's like
Is that your San
Yeah.
Francisco trip?
yeah, I was just thinking about it. It's so odd. It's like, oh, December, January, and February, I'm going to see Madonna once a month. Something to look forward
Wow.
to, guys.
Way to
Yeah.
do it. I'm telling you. I know.
Yeah, I think a lot of that tribute also, because she also, like, Whitney got mentioned, but I think she's in that headspace of,
Yeah.
oh shit, I'm the last one left,
Yeah.
you know? And
I'm still standing. Well,
yeah.
Elton John is the only other one.
Okay, yeah.
I never really looked at him as one of those on the same level. I mean, Elton John is.
He's older too.
Right.
Yeah,
I feel like
he's like Cher, Tina Turner, Elton.
Yeah,
kind of
like
thing.
Madonna.
Yeah.
It's like with Madonna, it's always Madonna, Michael Jackson,
Prince.
Prince, Whitney
George Michael.
Houston, George Michael. Like it's those sort of those
Mhm.
like '80s icons.
Yeah, and it would have been Janet if Justin hadn't screwed her over. So
Yeah,
you know,
right.
Yeah.
No, that's a whole other topic of conversation.
yeah, that's a whole other podcast. Anyway,
Yeah.
Well, we've already kicked off, but I mean, there's always plenties of goings on in the Madonnaverse.
You know she'll take you there. Oh, my
Oh.
that sounds so good.
You were not prepared for that one, Liberty. But
You know she'll take you there.
oh, there
I'm
we go.
sorry,
There we
it's
go. There we go.
A little bit of allergies.
Little crystal clear
Mhm.
Liberty for you. Well, that's right. Don't just stand there. Let's get to it. It's time for a little This Week in Ciccone.
See, I get what I want.
As we know, Madonna is on tour. Shocking. In case you didn't know. And
Is she coming to my town?
she'll be, well, she was already there, Tony.
What time does she go on?
She, my
Will
God.
she
1
be doing all the
a.m.
hits?
If I get one more message of somebody asking me what time she went on, it's like, people, just get to the venue when it opens and you won't have a problem.
Yeah.
or just set up a Google News alert. There's literally a headline about it after every show.
Yeah.
She didn't go on till 11. Oh my God.
crazy.
Who's going to take care of my
The
kids?
sweet spot is the DJ will finish at 9:30, and then if you're not there, good luck.
Good luck.
Well, I wanted to
Right.
talk mostly about Monday's show at MSG in New York City because it was a veritable who's who arriving. Tokischa and Kelly Ripa. And yes, people, don't come at me in the comments. We will get to the other two people that I know you're here for.
Yeah.
We'll get to them in a minute, but let's talk
Oh,
about the
Lord.
people that were on stage first. So, Tokischa, we called
Ooh.
that. We knew that was coming. We've been saying that since the tour was announced that
Yeah.
We
it was
did?
gonna. Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
that somehow, if in New York, she could at least figure in at least one opportunity for Tokischa to in some capacity be there.
Yeah.
Now I
And
don't
then
know
they
that.
were.
And there they were.
licking tongues and bumping and grinding,
Rubbing all over.
But Ben, how did you put it? What did she do?
She was grabbing Madonna's chucha.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'm so sorry I missed that.
Scientific term.
Oh, the
Well, it's all-
pictures were all over Twitter this morning of her giving Madonna the feels.
Oh yeah, that's right. It was very like Janet Jackson in the If video
If.
when she like grabs under and like grabs the guy. Yeah, that's exactly what it reminded me of.
Yeah, I'm
Alright.
not sure how rehearsed that moment was. There were some like kind of awkward, I don't know if awkward's the right word, even maybe just like not communicated, like where Tokischa was going versus where Madonna was going to be, but it still was very hot and probably all that everybody wanted to have in a sapphic hung up with Tokischa version for your eyes to feast upon.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she was only up there for a couple, like not very long. Like it wasn't.
Yeah, and I don't know where she went. Like I watched.
She just
it,
went back down the stairs
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. So
because
Well,
then
it-
Madonna had to launch into the ABBA version of "Hung Up," and
Yeah.
Tokischa had no part in that. So
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's the Madonna show, so why would Tokischa stay on stage?
yeah,
Yeah, get your 2 minutes and go.
Mhm.
They
It
really
was cute, but bye-bye.
I mean, according to Madonna's little post today, they really like each other. And
Oh yes, she
got
gave
her a
Tokisha
new
gave
grill.
her a new grill that says "Mother."
Yes.
Those were
Thanks,
that
thanks,
actually was cute.
Tokisha.
I liked
That's
it.
exactly
Thanks,
that's
Tokisha.
exactly what we need Madonna to
Yeah.
have. Another grill.
Ah,
Maybe she has a bottom one that says "fuck her."
hopefully. Oh my God.
And so then later on in the show, for the Vogue section, we had Madonna BFF Kelly Ripa, who was ecstatic. And in fact, I think the next day, yesterday, Kelly Ripa got very emotional about being on stage with Madonna because 16-year-old Kelly Ripa, who was a fan of Madonna and seeing her for the very first time was
At the same-
apoplectic about seeing her.
I was watching that little clip as well, and she said she saw it at the Spectrum in Philadelphia. Was that the same show you were at?
Blonde Ambition?
Yeah.
Yes, that would be. Oh, R.I.P. Spectrum. The Spectrum was such a tiny little venue. It's amazing how, even though it was tiny, those nosebleed seats were. She was like this blonde little ant dancing around, masturbating on the bed. You know, like you could barely. Oh my God.
But I mean, that was just so special because having known for years and years, I mean, I'm talking like.
Oh, she was. So Madonna did 3 nights at Spectrum. I wonder which one Kelly Ripa was at. So
that's true. Who knows?
The first night was canceled because of Madonna's throat problems that she was having during Blonde Ambition. But we were going to the second night, which was my birthday. And then she did. I don't think she rescheduled that first show. I think so. It was either Kelly Ripa was at my show or the next show. I don't remember.
We're going to say the next show for your benefit.
Yeah.
There you go. So good for Kelly. I thought she looked like she was having a blast, and she said that she was like kept turning around to all of her celebrity friends like, can you believe this is happening? Which would have been me for sure. I don't know what I would have done with myself, but I thought that was really cute because Kelly's so she's loved Madonna for so long. And even during the Rebel Heart tour, I really had wished she could be the unapologetic bitch because she was at Rebel Heart shows too. And I mean, going ham, I mean, absolutely nuts. So, and I'm loving that she's talking about it on her show.
Yep.
Because that's great for Madonna. That's good for Madonna. Really nice publicity.
Totally. Yeah, no, it was great. I loved it. Well, but of course, the bigger news at hand was who wasn't on stage with Madonna on Monday night.
Okay. Well, who said they were going to be on stage? See, that's the thing. That's what gets me crazy is people talking about, well, they'll be at the rehearsal in the afternoon, and then and it's like, but where are you getting this information from, people? You know?
I think
so. Of course, we're talking about Niki and Donna, Madonna's former backup singers who featured prominently in many of her previous tours. Obviously, they were in town for their own little shows their pair of shows that they were doing on Saturday and Sunday night. And of course, the rumor mill went crazy. Everyone's like, oh, they're going to show up at Madonna's show. It's going to happen, the reunion. And of course, then the word gets out that it's confirmed, which we had known, but we didn't want to get the people into a frenzy. Because look what happens. See, you work people up into a frenzy, promising that they're going to be there, and then everyone's hopes go through the roof. And then when they don't get on stage, everyone's disappointed. So, I mean, I get it.
But can we clarify that the chatter about it started after Keith Caulfield and his co-host interviewed Donna and Niki last week on the Billboard Pop Shop. And at the end, they gave this very strange denial about being on stage. And I thought, I mean, that's clever to get promotion for your show and get people to go to the gig. But I was like, if you had actually been invited to be on stage, you would be like, you'd either say no or just like no comment or, oh, we're not available. You wouldn't make it sound like you wouldn't actually acknowledge the possibility of it. Because even though we know like Santa and certain other people have been pulled up at the last minute the day of, I think because with these famous people who are busy and they're traveling all over and doing whatnot, like, I thought it was
Jose Extravaganza was a last minute call up. So I think that people might have suspected maybe Niki and Donna didn't even know what their part would be, if any. You know, I mean, maybe they were hoping. Who knows?
Yeah, and I mean, look, there's always an element of manifesting. I understand what you're saying about. I mean, just say straight up no, or we don't think so.
Or we haven't been asked yet. That's what I would have answered.
Yeah, and
I don't feel like there was ever any communication between the two parties. I really don't.
Yeah,
You know?
but they stoked the energy of it in that interview. If you listen to it, like if you weren't really paying attention, you just heard the headline. You're like, oh, they're going to be there, and it's blah, blah, blah. But I took away from it. I was like, y'all didn't get a phone call, and you probably ain't going to after this.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
mm-mm.
Yeah, it's hard to say. I think that even just putting it out, like, I know that that's what we wanted. I think a lot of fans wanted to see it happen, but I also think that, I mean, if there's going to be singing going on, that has to be rehearsed. That takes time.
Yeah.
That's not something that you can just, hey, you know, I mean, Niki and Donna can sing together pretty effortlessly. But I think that because of the dynamics of the show, they need to know the timing. They need to have in-ear monitors. Like it's not just a matter of, you know, give them a mic and sing this. They've not sung
and just get up
together
on
in
stage
years.
with Madonna. Like Madonna wants it to look good. She wants it to sound good because she's going to know it's going to be all over the place. So she's not just going to be like, hey, girls, I see you in the audience. Come up here. Give those girls a microphone. Let's do some rain acoustic.
Yeah, you guys know how highly sophisticated the production elements are. No, seriously though, I mean, the way that the show is mixed, the way that the music is mixed, the way that the show is produced doesn't allow for someone to just jump on and do an improvisational moment, you know?
Unless it's Tokisha. But again, what I mean by that is
she wasn't really mic'd up, and she wasn't, you know.
Well, they've sung together recently.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They've done something together recently.
When was the last time Niki and Donna sung together with
exactly
Madonna? Like it's been so long.
Yeah.
They would want to make sure that they, you know, like they hit the right notes together. That like that's three people singing together. You know, it's a lot.
And further, just because it's a tour looking at Madonna's life and acknowledging the past, which has not been something she's really revisited much publicly, it doesn't necessarily mean that, oh, we're going to get, you know, a performance from the past. It's about Madonna. At the end of the day, this is about her and what her vision is. And if for whatever reason, which we are not privy to, this is the thing that I've seen a lot of people asking, well, why? Why didn't she do that? Why? Well, we would all love to know why, but part of the magic of Madonna is the mystery.
Yeah.
Yep.
And we don't have to know everything. What you can do is say, wow, all the times that Donna and Niki had performed with Madonna, how amazing that was, right? How special those things were. We don't need to say, I need a new one right this second.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And plus, I don't think Madonna wants to compete with Niki and Donna after all these years of not seeing or, you know, working together or singing together, you know, because their voices are very, you know, they're very well trained. Not to say that Madonna's isn't, but it's a completely different story, you know?
Also, if you look at the footage of that the ladies posted, they clearly were having a good time and were not bothered by not being asked up on stage.
It's everybody else, right, Ben?
Yeah, I feel like the whole thing was built up based on just things that actually didn't happen and weren't said. And I get it. We would all love to see some kind of current version of Express Yourself from the VMAs. I get it. I totally get it. But that's not going to happen on this tour.
No.
Like it's pre-recorded, tracked, everything's timed out. Tokisha just got up there and lip synced her lines that were already in the recording, and they shoved her off the catwalk. Like, you know.
Yeah, no, I mean, in some things, like Liberty said, and like you also kind of mentioned, it's like some things are better left to memory, better left in the past. You don't see Cher recreating the Shoop Shoop song with Christina Ricci and Winona Ryder. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's not going to happen. You know?
Oh my God!
Not going to happen.
Jeez.
I mean, look, and as I said, I can understand if a lot of people think, well, this would have been so great for her. It would have been amazing for Madonna, and fans would have been, reinvigorated. Whatever. Like if you,
Madonna's fine.
it's yeah. I mean,
Right.
and I'm guilty of thinking the same. Like, wow, just even a photograph of the three of them in the same room together, or just, you know, but like Donna and Niki posted or Niki and Donna, that I think it was Donna's page or Niki and Donna's page on Instagram. It's a video of them singing Rain, and they sort of turn the camera and there's Madonna, and then it's them. So in a way, they did sing together. And we can take that for what it is and be thankful that they are both still performing their shows, because their shows look like a total blast that they both did. They'll be in Seattle later this month or in February. So, if you have the availability, go see them. I think
It sounded amazing. I mean, the clips I saw from the New York shows, they sounded amazing. I loved that they're singing "Nothing Really Matters," and they're singing a couple Madonna songs, which is really great. I love that.
Yeah. And they have a good time. So I feel like, if you've got availability, you can go and see them and you get your fill, you get a little bit of that nostalgia that you're after.
Right. Well, exactly. And if you wanted a reunion with Niki and Donna, MG Gong got one on
that's right,
at the show. He was there and he got to reunite. It was a little mini girly show reunion. So I was like, good for them. See, like they get it. Madonna's I always freeze on this. me freezing on the live.
It looks like you're singing.
And then I come back. It's what, Madonna's okay, Niki and Donna are okay. I'm like, if it's meant to happen, it'll happen.
Yeah, it's her bio tour, not
exactly
anybody else's. Like,
and you guys know that if they would have done something together, people would be screaming and yelling that, well, why didn't they make a shirt for merch, or why wasn't I invited, or like it's always something.
Or disappointed. Oh my gosh, they only did one number, or they were only Vogue judges. What a missed opportunity.
Yeah.
Like,
it's never you're never going to please everybody,
Right. And I think that it was enough for me that they were there and they were in, I think, the friends section. I don't think that they were necessarily there because they had to, like everybody else, get a last minute ticket. I think they
that was an invite for sure. And that, honestly, I looked at it as that was a Madonna olive branch.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Just like I'm sure her brother will get the same kind of invite, not necessarily a shout out from the stage or a meet and greet, but
you think?
I think that's a reach. I don't know.
I don't know about that.
Yeah.
No, he goes to her shows. But like I said, I don't think he's going backstage,
Yeah.
Yeah. Not without getting doused and voodooed and saged.
I was going to say
they're going to douse him with Kabbalah water,
smudging with sage. Bless yourself and genuflect.
Yeah, bless yourself and genuflect and recant all of it.
Yeah, but it can't be easy.
But so speaking of that show, moving on, I did want to talk about how emotional she was at that show. So I loved the thing that she said during, I think, the very first speech, where she said, I don't know when the next time it's going to be that I'm performing in New York, but I'm going to perform as if this is my last show of the tour and as if it's my first show of the tour. And I was like, somebody had forwarded that to me, and I was like, that's a very ominous comment to make. But at the same time, I was like, I looked at it as from an energy perspective, where she was like, she's going to give it her all, because I think that's when she, she's super nervous on her opening night, and then she's like putting it all out there. She's expending all her energy on the last night of a tour. So I love that.
But also, so the whole speech and the whole tenor of the tour, and her age, I really think what happened to her has been a rope back to reality.
Yeah.
Right. Mortality, being faced with it, absolutely has changed her tenor, and her whole Kabbalah, immortality, live forever, easy ride stuff. I just wonder if she's going to have a big psychological shift, and she acknowledges that this might be the last time she can do a big production like this, which I wouldn't be mad if she did like 6 months of Radio City. Like, bring it on.
Well,
I'm into it. Just don't go to Vegas. But
Yeah.
maybe some of the things like the music she'd recorded prior, it just doesn't fit her current, take on life. I mean, there could be things that she has said in those songs which are not in this message that she keeps giving at every show, which is like at any second everything can change for you, all of this can go, and which is, that's how I treat the shows that I go to of hers, that I never know, right, is this the last time I get to see her, not because of her but for my life, who knows what could happen. And that's how come I was so quick to be like, swipe that card, let's go, celebration tour. I'm going to Philly. Just because life is short. And even though that sounds cliche, I think she's proven it. I think she really, really realized it. And then honoring her nurse, which she uses the analogy of like, she took care of me like a mother. And that, it looked like it just was like a sword into her chest.
Oh, totally. Yeah, like that. Hearing her when she was like talking about her nurse Marie, the way it was like a gut punch, like she just like floored herself talking about it. It was really interesting. And to hear her description about like what she was having to do, like how the woman was like taking
that was
care
almost
of her.
too much for me.
It was.
Oh my God.
I was like, oh
when
my God.
She talked about her legs being so swollen and she couldn't walk, I was like, okay, that's enough.
The imagery.
It was, I really do. I mean, I heard, we've theorized, we've heard rumors that they're doing a documentary behind the scenes for this tour. And
oh God, I hope so.
I hope so, because I think it would be fantastic. Like, I just really think to be able to see a window into what she's like now, because, we always say, we get tired of the artifice of the facade, the
bitchy Madonna,
the character that she portrays on her Instagram, and we know that that's not how she is all the time. Like that's part of her, but it's not the real her. Like that trailer park Madonna, and like that's not her. It's fun, but I would love to see a behind the scenes. I just think it would be fascinating.
Well, I think. Yeah, and given the nature of the show and what preceded it in real life, I think it would actually be probably one of the most relatable things she would ever do. Like, I'm just thinking about the Detroit show and the speech she gave about her dad.
Yes.
And if the movie had the behind the stage of what was happening before she came out on stage that made her so emotional, that she was talking about aging. And I mean, because she's always talked about aging as like a defensive thing against the media, but like at that Detroit show, like she actually talked about getting older and how it changes your perspective. And I was just like, oh wow, she's never been so forthright in such a straightforward way about these topics, right? It's always been framed in sort of the larger conversations about, misogyny and patriarchy, and I'm still here. It's the most dangerous thing I could have done. But man, when mortality grabs you by the chucha,
and if you compare the speeches from the Madame X tour to this one, it's a completely different person. And Madame X, it was about, she goes, I'm still here, I'm a badass. She would get political when she needed to, but it was mostly about her being indestructible, being a badass, being a worldly lady. And now she's kind of like, has a worldview and she can read the room, and it's refreshing to see her like that, like Stefan said,
I would have to say, like, since having gone to the Philadelphia show, and I've had a lot of time to think on the plane and just time in general, just to think about, thinking about the way Madame X was. It was only 5 years ago. It wasn't that long ago. And how much has changed in the world, and how it seems she's so different. Maybe a lot of what she learned in the things that occurred on the Madame X tour, she's sort of, kind of pulling from in how she, let's say, relates to the audience now. We're still motherfuckers, but we are now receiving like a life lesson rather than get out and vote, or getting preachy. Sometimes she's still got a little preachy, but like in different shows I've seen, but there isn't this like anger or not anger, but like
urgency to get the word out, to change minds,
and maybe she wants to say, maybe she's realizing like, I can't change people. Like I actually can't. Like I think a lot of us have that. We face that a little bit in our lives where we're like, I wish this person would just do XYZ. We can't change others, right? We can only change ourselves. And I think she's asking for us to do that, where, shine your light, be who you are, and bring good things to the world, be good to people, and to each, be kind to each other. Don't be so full of vitriol, because it doesn't serve a greater purpose.
Yeah, but also she's brought back the original showgirl element from like True Blue and Girly Show, where it's just about putting on the big show too, right? Which we didn't really get to see a lot of that in this millennium. I mean, Drowned World, there was almost nothing showgirly about that. And Reinvention had its moments, but like Confessions was all like dark and serious, so it's kind of nice to see that element paired with this new thing. And it's like, oh, this is like a 21st century version of that original spirit.
Yeah.
No, it's I mean, I love it. I don't know. I know Liberty she's got 2 more shows coming up. Tony's got another show coming up. Ben, are you seeing the show again?
I have no idea.
Because right now I don't have another show on the horizon yet, but I kind of feel like I need to. Like I might take a break, but I kind of feel like
for me, it's 3 times is a charm. I think 3 is the perfect number,
Mm-hmm.
And San Francisco is a great place to see a show.
Yeah, and I'm gonna Madonna tune.
And I'm gonna have nosebleed seats, so it'll be a different view.
Maybe you'll get, wear a fun T-shirt. Maybe you'll get moved to the pit.
You never know. I mean, I think that there's an element of just, if I can see another show, right, I'll be so excited. But let the universe make all of those things. One of the quotes that I reread, because I know the quote already, but of Madonna's is, if you really want something bad enough, the universe will conspire for you to have it. And I really felt like me getting to go to Philadelphia was that was it, because I didn't know I was going to go till the week before. I didn't know that there would be any seats available, and there were. I didn't know that it was going to be okay with my family for me to leave for a few days. And all of those things. And then
Liberty, your sons didn't even know you were gone. Liberty calls them when she gets to my house. The kid thought she was upstairs. He's like, "Mom, can you come downstairs and help me with this?" She's like, "Honey, I'm not home.
You are joking."
No, my older one was like, "Hey, Mom, can you come and pick me up?" I was like, it'll be a couple of hours because I'm in a different state.
Oh my Lord!
I forgot. I know. He's a teenager. They've got other things.
They don't pay attention.
Well, I want the universe to conspire to get me to see the show in Austin. I would love to see Madonna in Texas again, and I could see my friends Liberty and Shannon and Whitney and everyone, and eat Tex-Mex until I drop.
What's the dates? What are the dates on Austin?
It's a Sunday, Monday, right?
April 14, 15, I think.
Ooh, that's far removed enough away for me to maybe justify that. Okay, what night are you going?
She's going both
I have tickets
nights
for both.
Oh, wow.
All right. Well, if I end up going to one, at least I'll know you'll be there.
I'll be there. I'm going to be there.
With queso.
Yes. Just have a little sliver right here for a little snack.
No, but don't.
Right around erotica. I'm just
don't wear the "Who's That Girl" bomber and have queso at the same time, because they do not.
Absolutely
mix.
not. No.
That is a no.
Wait, are you saying I'm going to get the "Who's That Girl" bomber?
You're getting it.
The universe is conspiring. Oh, by the way, guys, I was walking in Hell's Kitchen / Midtown where I work, and just, I don't know, I guess I'm used to seeing it, but it just caught my eye. I was like, oh, somebody's wearing a Blonde Ambition bomber jacket.
Oh, wow.
They're everywhere.
Out in the wild,
It's fun when you don't expect it, but it's not at a Madonna concert. You're like, oh, there's Madonna.
Yeah.
I've had a couple people ask me, what's that crown for on the back?
Really?
Baby.
Seriously.
Tell them, watch Truth or Dare, and then we'll talk.
Super secret club you can't get into.
Yeah.
Well, another thing that happened yesterday was and I can't believe I'm going to be able to say this, the 40th anniversary of the day Madonna filmed her Borderline video with director Mary Lambert, which is like my brain's exploding thinking about that. I'm like, I remember watching that on MTV.
Yeah, that was the first time I ever saw her in any way, shape, or form in a Borderline video.
Yep.
So, yeah, hi, old.
I know, seriously. I was like, ooh, I don't know. Like, speaking of, post your picture of you at 21. I'm like, no, thank you. No.
Mine doesn't exist. We didn't have that.
I'm not showing that. I'm not showing that. Like, I'm just going to post a picture of me today and be like, yeah, this was me at 21. Look how ageless I am. Or people would be like, Stephanie, you look like crap at 21.
My Polaroids all turned yellow,
Well, I had this.
21 is such a blur.
Because of Bedtime Story. So Bedtime Story was out when I would think I was 19, 20, somewhere around there. And because of that angle, when she has the sunflowers floating around, like closing and spinning around behind her, it's like that angle where she's like over and she's like basically like the Who's That Girl t-shirt where it's just her eyes looking up.
Mm-hmm.
And I was obsessed with that. And so because we all had point and shoot cameras back in the day, from like 1995 when that video premiered until like the late 98 or 2000, I went through a very bad habit of sneaking pictures where I would hold the camera up to get that angle of me and snap a picture. So if you had a point and shoot camera and you were friends with me from like 95 to 2000, you had a picture of me doing what I called the Bedtime Story picture. I loved when I would go to a wedding and they would have cameras on all the tables because when everyone was out dancing, I would go to each table and just take it on every camera because I was like, so if you have a picture of me doing a Bedtime Story photo, send it my way.
Okay, now this is a perfect time for me to ask all of us, did you ever recreate a Madonna photo? Be honest.
Like 2 weeks ago.
Hello. Yeah, Liberty and I did Desperately Seeking Susan photo shoot.
That's right.
I want to see those. Well, I
gotta say was pretty fucking fantastic.
Those were good.
I don't know where these are, but I'm sure they'll show up. I once enlisted an ex-boyfriend years ago. This is 90s. And we did the night before, morning after, like a virgin photo shoot.
Oh, you have to find those, Tony. Where are those?
I wasn't wearing a wedding dress, but it was
what were you
very
wearing?
Similar stuff. But it was in black and white, and it was very like, and the leg up and putting on the stocking. Yeah, it was good.
I have far too many Madonna homage photos. Like I've done so many. In fact, I've just called this one up. I don't know if you can see it.
Yeah.
Wow.
The cover of Rebel Heart. If you're able to see that.
Yeah.
And it is actual cord on my face. That is not. It was not photoshopped. I actually wrapped my head with that. It took way too long. But yeah, I have lots of fun doing.
I've
Madonna
only
homage.
done it for when you've asked us to do it for the podcast.
What? I could have. You give me you're giving me like early 1993 erotica photo shoot.
Yeah, Ben, you need to get on that. I know.
Yeah. I was never, it's so funny because you're talking about the point and shoots and taking selfies. I never took pictures of myself. There's like a whole period of the early 90s. There are no photographs of me unless it's at somebody's wedding or funeral.
Yeah,
Really?
same here.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh God, I was so narcissistic.
And I looked so weird because I was like 3 inches shorter and like 40 pounds heavier. Like I don't even look like the same person.
Well, but Ben, you made up for that lack of photos once Instagram came around.
Oh, yes.
Even before Instagram,
and trust me, you're bearing it all.
Yeah. Oh no, I in the mid 2010s, I did quite a bit of like naked modeling. That was fine. I was like, I'm 40 and I'm
like
feeling
Madonna.
it.
You got to pay your bills
Yeah.
somehow,
Yeah.
Well, I wasn't paying any bills. I was just having fun.
They just like being naked.
Yeah, I did that.
It wasn't even that. It wasn't even that, Liberty. I I just enjoyed the experience.
Mhm.
That's
Yeah.
good.
I did that in my 20s when I moved to New York. I posed undraped for like photographers, and I was like, Madonna did it. Why can't I do it?
Yeah.
You know.
That's right. That's right.
However, my photos were not sold to Playboy or Penthouse.
Oh.
So you have
Were they in
nothing to
Unfortunately.
regret.
were they in like HX or Next magazine in the little remember those free gay magazines? Do they still do those? I don't even know if they're in the gay
No,
market.
they're all gone.
I didn't even end up in a free publication. I'm sure I'm like in.
Oh, I figured you were like maybe like somebody used them. Like remember in the back of HX, they always had like the gay personal ads, and it was all these like blurred out pictures of like guys with their hard-ons. Like
Yeah, those were hookers,
yeah.
Stefan.
Oh.
Yeah, those were prostitutes, Stefan.
well, we all got to make a living somehow. Let's not shame sex workers. They,
No, not at all. But in the 90s, they were called hookers.
I mean, if
Yeah.
like, I'm sure, I'm sure if you're a sex worker, you probably have no problem getting pit tickets to a
I was
Madonna
gonna
show.
say.
So,
No.
That's a nice little side gig for
anyway, moving on. Another anniversary that just took place today or yesterday. I'm blanking on the days. Work is my job is so
2 days ago.
insane. It's 2 days ago. The release of the Keep It Together remixes on streaming in honor of the 34th anniversary of the release of that single. I'm like, how many more anniversaries can make us feel old?
Well, every year. But you guys, I'm so happy this finally came out on streaming. This is my favorite remix ever of any Madonna song. The
Really?
second extended remix that was basically a ripoff of Soul to Soul. Thank you,
Yes,
Chef Pettibone.
yes.
Yeah. But that was my vibe at the time. And that track never gets old. We've had it streaming for a while because it ended up in the Like a Prayer 30th anniversary.
Right.
But now to have
yeah.
all of them with the cover art is lovely.
Yeah.
It's so
But did you notice they switched the cover art? So
Yeah.
the cover art that I have, she used to face herself, and
Mhm.
now she's facing away.
Mm-hmm. Somebody get Herb Ritz on. Oh, no, I'm sorry. He's not.
Oh,
around.
stop it.
Let's not. Yeah.
No, I mean, someone screwed up and it wasn't Herb Ritz. That's what I meant.
Oh, but
to
I
say.
see. I wondered if they did that as like a now it's new, it's fresh. Like I wondered if they meant to do that on purpose because
Maybe.
the quality of the images is like tack sharp.
Yeah. Or maybe the 20-year-old that was tasked to do it had no idea what the original source material
The intern didn't have a clue.
Yeah.
hmm
I don't know. I mean, there could be some sort of metaphor, right? I mean,
Or it might have been Stella that did it because she's not really working this tour,
She did it on Pixlr on her phone.
Like Astaire's on stage, voguing, and then David Banda's doing Prince.
No, I thought
and
Stella what Stella's on?
Isn't-
she's the DJ, right? Isn't
Yeah,
she?
yeah, she's
Yeah.
DJing during Vogue. Yeah.
no, there's like two parts where they're like where the twins are on
And don't
stage.
tell me.
Why do I have
Oh,
balloons?
that's
What
right.
was
yeah.
that, Liberty?
I
What
don't
was
know. Why did
that?
I get
Did you just
balloons?
have balloons float up in front of you?
Hey, when you want something bad enough,
How did you do
Universal
that?
Cons-
I'm curious how you did that.
I did literally touch nothing. I'm just lucky enough to have balloons.
You have a party. It's a party at
Yeah.
Liberty's.
That's
I want
weird.
balloons.
I know. I don't know. How you,
Are we being
Can you do the heart? Remember, like, can you put your fingers up and do the heart? I think you might have something turned on where. Yep. See.
Oh, she's got the hand gesture thing turned on.
Yeah, she's got some hand gesture thing.
Okay, let me try this one. Oh wait,
Liberty. That's the hand
That
job
doesn't
gesture.
work.
That's the hand job gesture. Oh, you were giving face.
Mine doesn't do anything. This is
You have to turn it on under more.
I
Yeah,
didn't
you
know
have
that I did that.
Yeah.
Well,
It's
you're welcome, kids, for the
we'll
show.
Figure that. We'll figure that.
But what did
out
I
there.
do that got balloons?
I
That's
don't know. That was interesting. That was a lot of.
Oh, it's not working for me. I
Now
turned it
everyone's
on, but it's still
giving
not
for
working.
those of you
Whatever.
not watching.
Now we're being like 12
everyone is like little kids. We're trying to do random hand gestures.
How's
So
the
you could
chat?
do if you do the Die Another Day hand gestures.
Yeah, Liberty. Let's check in with the chat.
The chat has been very busy. I mean, we kind of moved on from the Niki and Donna stuff, and a lot of people were. Then there were a whole bunch of people telling us all to come see the show in LA.
We'd love to.
Several people who are here tonight are going to be at the Austin shows, actually, including a couple people. It will be their first Madonna concert.
Ooh,
Ever?
what a
Love it.
stitch.
Yeah. And then a lot of people agreed with what we were saying about her changed attitude and like mortality and that it's a different energy. And
Yeah.
a couple people admitted to doing Madonna photo shoots of the Rebel Heart cover, and then somebody did Like a Virgin. I was in my Nightwing cosplay.
Oh,
That's different. That's unlike a virgin, but
what is your
yeah.
name? Satan?
No, they did the Die Another Day dance and summoned up a phallic demon.
Yeah.
So, oh my goodness. But
I
yeah,
would
that
love to
pretty
do
much-
LA. LA would be so fun to do
Oh,
because
100%.
you know that's going to be such a scene with so many celebrities at every show.
I predict
Yeah.
Britney Spears on stage.
Oh, she has
Oh,
to.
God.
We're
Come
hopeful.
on. Like if there's anything that needs to happen, Britney on stage with Madonna, it has to. That would be amazing.
I don't know. I feel like she'll have Justin because he has a new album coming out.
No, but
No.
no,
That
his
would be
music.
terrible PR for
His
Madonna.
new song is awful. I totally agree. But
People
And-
would blog Madonna if she brought Justin in.
Also, if you notice, none of his work from Hard
oh,
Candy,
that's true.
in the
That's
show,
true.
you
You're
know?
right.
not even
She's chosen
sample,
aside.
nothing,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
Which
I
I'm not
know.
mad about not hearing.
R.I.P.
4 minutes,
Candy
so.
Shop.
I know, no candy shop.
Get up out
Well-
of your seat.
But Candy Shop was Pharrell, so I think that could still come back somehow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. For the 2.0 version of the show. Brazil.
Poor Brittany. She just, poor thing.
I know,
I wouldn't
it's-
drag her up on stage. Ugh.
She'd have fun during the Vogue ball.
She would dance. At
I
least
guess
we
she
know
could
that.
do that.
Oh
Yeah,
my God,
Vogue ball.
she would lose her mind if she were like getting, railed by one of the dancers, and she was holding up like, going, "Y'all look!" You know?
Oh.
Just
I
no
know.
knives, Brittany. No knives.
That poor child.
I know. Good thing it's not Drowned World. There would be a big samurai sword on stage, and
Oh.
we'd have a problem.
Oh my lord.
Oh. I'm
You
more
know.
curious about who the guest judges will be in some of the other cities, like
Yeah.
Austin
Like
and
Austin.
Atlanta.
Yeah.
It'll be drag
like-
queens. I'm telling you, it'll be drag queens.
I would imagine drag queens for sure. I mean, Austin,
Yeah.
I'm sure, has a plethora of
Liberty.
folks.
Maybe Liberty will get dragged up in Austin.
Houston has an amazing drag scene, I think. Dallas too. So
But is she only going to Austin for Texas?
yeah, that's it.
Yeah, which is weird because.
Well, no, she's got Houston
no.
and Dallas. I'm sorry.
Oh,
Yeah,
she.
yeah.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking of myself again.
Yeah.
Where I only have Austin presently, but you never know. Things can, it would be so amazing if somebody was like, "Hey, here is a ticket in LA," because I have off that week. It's spring break, and so I
Yeah,
could do
so
that.
whoever wants to send a plane, you can send it to the East Coast.
I know,
can
seriously. Send a ticket. We're more
Yeah.
than happy to join you. If you need a +1 to any celebration tour show in the coming weeks, think of MLVC as your +1. We're more than happy to come.
Yeah, a +4 actually.
And then you'll get to
+4.
be on the show.
Yeah,
Oh,
and we
Lord.
won't even charge you.
That's your gift. Thanks.
Yeah, but even if I don't get to, I feel pretty, I feel satisfied that I have seen it, because I really was feeling not satisfied. I was very
No,
unhappy.
Liberty was like, "Do you think I'm satisfied?"
Yeah. I'd like to express my extreme point of view. I need to
Yeah.
see Madonna right now.
All right, you did. Calm down.
Did okay.
But think about the delay of your Vancouver experience. What happened in the aftermath, right? You got to go to Philly and hang out with Stefan and see the show, probably better seats, and you had
Yeah.
such a positive experience.
I'm
See
telling
how-
you, like, universe.
Yeah.
The universe took care of you.
Yeah.
It was full
Look-
of stars.
Just like what happened with me last week, if that show had happened in October when it was supposed to, or back in July when it was supposed to, I wouldn't have been on the floor looking up at Madonna.
Right.
So thanks, rescheduling.
Yeah.
And that's that story.
Hmm.
Yeah.
That's all I have to say.
All right. Well,
About
I think that's a great way to end our show for the week. Remember, everybody, you can find us on Instagram, Twitter, and Threads, MLVC Podcast. If you'd like to donate to the show, we're on Venmo at MLVC Podcast. If you've not yet subscribed to our YouTube channel, tick that subscribe button so
Do it.
you never miss a video. We're going to be doing shows for the remainder of the tour and then some. We're not going away. You can't get rid of us.
Mm-mm.
We're just many, we're just here.
We go hard or we go home.
Exactly.
But we're actually home right now. So,
so hit that subscribe button. And until next time, everybody, nothing really matters. Love is all you need. Keep it together. Right. Oh, Liberty, take us out with a little keep it together.
In our podcast family.
Yeah.
One child.
That's not keep it together.
That's my favorite version.
That's family affair.
I was going to say, that's family affair.
Okay.
Well, now y'all sound like family.
I got brothers.
I got brothers. I got some sisters too. Stuck in the middle. Tell you what I'm gonna do. Gonna get out of here. I'm gonna leave this place so I can forget every single hungry face. When I get...
I was going to say, you don't have to keep going.
I'm like, are we about to get into copyright problems?
I know, right?
Yeah, Warner Brothers is going to be like, you can no longer monetize this. All right, bye, everybody.